Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The Todd-Cast is filmed before a live feline audience. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back.
Hi, everyone.
We're doing it all again. We are going to be talking about my second favorite park, your second favorite park,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tie between, but yeah, it's
Right.
definitely a tops.
On our continuing series here of how we do Disney.
Mm-hmm.
This tonight is about the third in the chronological order of parks.
Happy birthday to you.
That's right.
This week.
That's right. Disney's Hollywood Studios is 35 years old
Yes.
as of May 1st. So, yeah, a couple days ago.
A couple days ago.
And while it was a good park and a decent park and a lot of fun, originally there wasn't a whole lot there.
It was trying to make that nod and that ode to movie making and the production and what Disney was known for when it came to the movies and TV. And so
Exactly.
that's where it was at.
Yeah, and that's something important because at one time it was an actual
studio.
working studio.
Yeah.
The TV series Home Improvement was filmed there. I keep bringing up, this is going to be the third time that I've brought this up. Thunder in Paradise was filmed through them. There were several
Animated features, yeah.
animated features that were done there.
Mm-hmm.
There were several portions of animated features that were done there. Lilo and Stitch came out of that particular workhouse. Brother Bear also came out of that one.
We have a good story for you a little bit later.
When we get into it.
Great
Oh
story.
my word, oh my word.
Some of that magic.
Let me see what else. It hits your historical vibe.
Oh, 1,000%. The whole front section of the park
Yes.
is that old Hollywood
Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard, Vine,
Hollywood and Vine. Yeah, I could spend
everything.
I love hanging out in the front side of that park. I love it.
And as do I, because amateur historian,
Yeah.
that's my thing. That's what I like.
It is. I love it. It's all that old Hollywood vibe that, time of when Walt was in California and just starting everything, the 30s and 40s, 20s,
Right.
30s and 40s, the whole thing. I love it.
The golden age.
Golden age, yep.
Yeah, the golden age of Hollywood. And that's what I love about it.
So good.
Well, okay. Just a little bit of background, and yes, I'm going to talk about me right now because I'm 50%
Okay.
of this. And, being 50% of this, here it comes.
And he's the older sibling, so
Oh,
here we go.
Boy, here we go. I'm a frustrated actor. Okay. There was a whole lot that I had projected for myself to do as far as being on stage, hopefully someday being in front of a camera, that just never happened. It didn't really go as far as I wanted it to go, and it didn't really do as much as I wanted it to do. So, I mean, here I am.
Now we're YouTubers
Yeah. We think we're famous.
in our own world.
Well, I have 124 subscribers.
We're famous with 124 people. Yay!
I have a following. So, yay.
Yay! There's much rejoicing. Yay.
I'm going to find the gift. I'm going to find the gift.
If you know, you know.
And I'm going to put it right here. And now you know. Oh, boy. Okay.
Yay. It's gonna be another one of those nights, everybody.
Yes,
Hang
sir.
on.
I'm tired. I'm still tired from Wednesday. Okay.
Big news, folks. Chuck mowed the lawn.
Yeah, on my prosthesis. And
that's huge. Like, that is amazingly cool. And I know everybody were freaking out over lawnmower, but Yay.
I'm freaking out over a lawnmower with doing it with 1 3/4 of a leg.
I know.
So
It's huge.
yeah.
But got recovery time, so it's all good.
But I am so
Back
tired.
to Hollywood Studio.
I'm so tired and sore, and I have no idea what I'm looking for. Oh, now I found it.
So him wanting to be an actor means that when we go to places like Disney's California Adventure or Hollywood Studios, there's some method acting that happens when one person enters said park and a character is created for the day's interactions.
I have personas.
I know you do.
Okay, I put on personas.
And I know when you've changed personalities.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And
and then now it's worse that there's Galaxy's Edge back there. Holy smokes. Like, there's not even...
sorry, not sorry.
I know.
Sorry, not sorry. I got...
You're 11, I'm 6. That's
There
what
we go.
happens when we go to
There we
the
go.
park.
Again,
It is. It happens.
that's who we are. It's what we do. And I make no apologies for it at all.
It is who you are.
And the fun thing about this is that Disney World has provided 2 areas for me to do this in. One, as you said, is the front of the park, is the front of Hollywood Studios.
Love it.
I love it.
It's
Okay?
great. It's a great
I love
enter. It's a great enter.
You know, I mean, it is the romanticized 1940s.
Yeah.
Okay. It is that romanticized
Which
1940s.
is, I mean, you're trying to leave you're entering a story and you're leaving it behind. So you're wanting to come
Right.
into a place that feels good and positive and hopeful. And that's what that was.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And that's why this is my second favorite park, is because that fulfills it for me.
Mhm.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean,
Yeah.
it opened in 1989.
Yes.
The lead engineer was Marty Sklar, and that was the same lead engineer for Epcot.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they're only 5 years apart. So
Right.
that makes sense that he would be part on that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was originally named Disney MGM Studios. They had signed a licensing agreement between the two of them and were able to, put together some pretty fantastic IP.
And then it changed over just to Disney's Hollywood Studios like 2007, 2008. Because we were there right the last bit, or was that when
It was
Chris was pregnant with Katie?
It was in 2003.
3. Okay.
It was 2003 when they had flipped the name.
Right. Because we were there at the park and one of the cast members was like, all this MGM stuff is going to become collectors.
That's right.
Because so
That's
she
right.
kind of gave us a hit and I was like, oh,
Yeah, and we had not paid attention.
we didn't. I didn't know.
Because it's like, okay, well, that's great, that's cute, whatever. I'm watching Brother Bear, but
We digress. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We'll get there.
I'm sorry. I'm excited.
It's cool. So yeah, it switched over and I think it's just because the agreement ended. Don't know.
That's part of it. The other part of it was the fact that MGM Grand in Las Vegas wanted to do some dark ride things, and that was potentially breaking the contract they had with Disney.
Oh, got it.
So, in order for
They
them
didn't play
to
nice anymore.
yeah, exactly. Well, they wanted their piece of the pie too.
Okay, fair.
And I understand
It's a
that.
big pie.
Yeah, and they saw what Universal was doing, so
They wanted in
they
on that.
they wanted to roll in on that. There's the other story about Hollywood Studios.
We'll do another. Yeah.
About the beginning of that.
Yeah.
The reason the Hollywood Studios is there is so that they could beat
Orlando.
beat Universal by putting in a park.
Yeah.
So, the Universal Park was built very shortly after.
And Hollywood. Yeah.
No, in Orlando.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway.
So, MGM Studios and Hollywood Studios are the same thing. So we are again trying to, and the whole thing is like how movies were made and what the props were, and
Right.
get it, like immersing you in the process of becoming an actor, and so thus the things like the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Right.
And, like those sorts of things were really the flavor of the park when it first opened.
Right. And that's why the big AT-AT in front of Star Tours, when you go behind it, looks like
A prop.
scenery and
Yeah.
is labeled as scenery.
Yeah.
Leg 1 for Star Wars, that
Yeah.
type of thing. That's something that I loved because it's like, oh, wow, now we get to be sort of in that part of,
Yeah.
we're on a set.
We're the production.
Yeah, we're on the set, we're right on.
So the other thing to know too is that, the first part of the park, the Old Hollywood, that's where all the shopping is located and a lot of the sit down restaurants. So
Yes.
you can go in and you can shop your way in or shop your way out. And if you've kind of felt the theme, if you haven't been to Disney World yet, you'll notice that big hunk of the shopping is located at the front of the park.
Exactly.
So that's the way this is lined up.
Exactly. Now, once again, we're starting off with how we getting there.
Well, we're in our fictitious
In our fictitious
stay.
vacation.
We're staying at the Grand, so we can do
at Grand
a bus.
Floridian. Yeah, we got the bus.
We could do the multi-stop monorail
Yeah, that's kind of
extravaganza.
weird, though.
It's a little more weird.
Yeah.
So this is probably one where a bus makes the best sense.
Exactly. Now, we could do it weird, where we could take the bus over to another resort.
And ride the Skyliner.
Yeah. Alyce is sporting the Skyliner thing.
I love that. So we stayed at the Riviera once, and that was the best way. Like, we got the Skyliner stop at the Riviera, you got on, it's 2 stops later, and then you're in. Oh, it was the best. I love that thing.
And I have yet to ride the Skyliner.
We're going to do it.
Because I live in a state where those just take you up to the top of the mountain
Mountains.
to go
You
ski.
down.
Yeah.
No, it's
So.
really fun. They're really cool. So Skyliner is actually another option to, like you said, take a bus to another resort
Exactly.
and do that. So
okay.
we're going to get there somehow with Disney transportation.
Right. We could also end up taking our bus over to, say, like Port Orleans French Quarter
And the boat, yeah.
and ride the boat over,
You could.
or at the Swan and
Disney-
Dolphin
And Disney
or
Springs.
Disney Springs, do it that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of options to this park.
Sure. So we're at the park. We're going
Here
in,
we go.
and there's only one. There's only one way in and one way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, one way out. You Star Wars fans know what I'm talking about. I'll do it right here.
I don't know.
Okay, it's from Andor.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
how to navigate it?
Well, you walk in.
There you go.
And
Or scooter in,
Scooter.
or wheel
And
in, or whatever.
and it's kind of nice because you have to get pretty far in the park before it begins to spoke out.
Right.
So you can actually, there's some, like I said, the shopping's there. There's some immediately restrooms right at the front. So if you need to take care of that, some of the best shopping for pins and
Right
technology
right to the right.
immediately to the right. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's some great
in the camera shop.
Yeah. So it's good.
Yep.
Like you can get some neat magic bands, really great pins. The shopping in Hollywood is, to me, a better place to shop than Magic Kingdom.
And it's a lot more focused.
Yeah.
I
like it a lot better.
That's why I like it, is
Yeah.
because it is focused on the theming of the park.
Yeah.
Okay. The merchandise there is about the park.
Yeah.
It's not just the normal, it's just another branch of the World of Disney shop,
And So the fun thing too is when you enter the castle, quote unquote, is the Chinese Grauman Theater remake.
Oh yeah, the
And
facade of
the facade of that. So
Yeah.
you're basically getting to the castle of Old Hollywood, where
Oh yeah.
all of the big things happened was the Grauman Theater. So you get to see that. So
Now-
that's kind of cool.
Now, point of order on that. The icon for Hollywood Studios is not the theater.
I know, but that's your visual when you walk in.
Yeah. And it was the icon when it was first opened.
With the hat.
Now, the hat came after.
Okay.
The hat came after. The Sorcerer's hat came after when they did the Millennia thing.
Oh, got it.
and-
Okay.
Yeah, and everything.
Neato.
Because, you got the hat over at Disneyland Hotel. You got the hat over at Hollywood
Hollywood,
Studios.
okay.
You got the hand with the wand and the 2000
Yeah.
on
Oh, okay.
Spaceship Earth.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where all that came from. But the icon originally was Grumman's Chinese Theater
Mm-hmm.
replica that was dead in front of you. And honestly, I still think that should be the icon. But yeah, I mean,
Now it's Tower.
it's Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
Now the icon is Tower of Terror.
So the other thing, like we said earlier, that the big sit-down restaurants are located like Hollywood and Vine, Sunset Boulevard.
Yes.
So our favorite sit-down restaurant, and it's a high-end, and
it's a signature dining.
You have to kind of try and get your reservations early.
Yes.
I recommend a lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Over a dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a little bit easier to get a lunch, and an early lunch at that. You have to eat at the Brown Derby.
Yes.
And they've recreated the Brown Derby in its full. Except for the hat.
Except for the Derby. Okay.
But it's an icon on the restaurant. It is so good. There are and this will be surprising for even you. Two things that I only eat there because I've had it and it's amazing. Their scallop dish.
Yeah.
Because you had it too.
Yes, I did.
Phenomenal. And it's
amazing.
I don't eat scallops normally. I think
she does not like the shellfish that
not much. It's just there's the marine animal taste.
Yeah.
And then the second thing that I'll get there all the time is the grapefruit cake.
Yes, indeed.
And that was one of Walt's favorite things.
Oh, yeah.
It is to die for. And I'm not a big sweets eater, and I'm not a big fruity sweet eater. Right. And the fact that that is one on my tops I have to get there says a lot. It is so good.
Disney has made a distinct effort to try to recreate the original menu from the Brown Derby.
It's really good. I had some spare ribs there once too, and they were really good. So high end, totally worth it. Yeah.
The time where Chris and I went to go see Cat March on New Year's, we had our New Year's dinner at the Brown Derby.
Nice.
And it was worth every penny.
Oh, it's so good.
And we dressed up for it.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the white dinner
jacket
coat. I was, the white, the white with the black tie and everything else and everything. And it's like
fantastic.
I was 1940s Hollywood going out to dinner.
You had to cosplay yourself.
You bet I did. You bet I did. It was great.
If you can't get a reservation though, they have a quick serve or the outside bar. You can get all of the same menu.
Pretty much.
And that's a walk up. So you can get the food somehow, but it is really kind of fun to get in there and see the drawings and the autographs.
Well, and see, that was something I was going to mention was the outdoor.
Yeah.
The patio dining. The patio dining is, in my mind, a little bit better. And the reason is because we're back to people watching.
Oh, okay. That's fun. And then the parade, Well,
they don't have parades much there anymore.
No, they kept the cavalcade things that come through, but not as much.
No, they don't. That's all ended.
No, they had some
the
last 2020.
time I was there. Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is odd because they haven't brought back a whole lot since 2020. So, anyway, I would do outdoor dining in because people watch.
It's fun.
People watch it's great, and the Brown Derby is at the end of Hollywood Boulevard and at the beginning of Animation Court.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of that bridge. There's some neat little green spaces where characters will hang out.
Yep.
So it's a fun. So that's one of our have to restaurants. The other kind of, if you go down, is it Sunset is to the right, Vine is to the left.
Yeah, Vine is to the left.
You get what's the 50s Primetime Cafe, and then the little restaurant where the character meals are at.
That's the Hollywood and Vine.
Okay. Hollywood and Vine is the character. I have never eaten there.
Nope, neither have I.
But I've seen some really fun. So if you want a character interaction meal, that's Hollywood and Vine. I have eaten at 50s Primetime Cafe. It's pretty standard American fare. So if you're wanting pot roast and meatloaf and fried chicken.
Pot roast, meatloaf, turkey with gravy and mashed potatoes.
It's good. You actually go there for the floor show.
Well, you are the floor show.
Which is the cast who are your servers, and they are, the...
Okay, the theme of it is that you are stuck in a 1950s sitcom. Okay, you are stuck in a TV series, and most of all 1950s sitcoms were all family oriented, and everybody was here being the big part of the family. So much so that you are insulted at your table. And I mean,
No, they are. They're not kind.
yeah, they go for it because they're
Yeah.
in character.
Yeah.
It's in character. And
You're going to eat that? Are you going to finish that?
yeah, you got to clean your plate.
You're not going to get any dessert until you clean your plate.
Mom said you gotta. You
No
know?
sharing.
Yep.
You don't getting help from anybody. Like, so
Oh yeah.
it's not abusive. It's just you have to know what to expect. So if you're not expecting that, it can be a
Right.
little off-putting, but it's
Yeah, and if you are sensitive to things like that, it is something I do not recommend you do.
yeah.
With Alyce and I, we give as good as we get. So it was,
Yeah.
rolling with all the punches, and I was starting to get back with
Yeah.
it. And well, the rest of the party that we were with were slightly embarrassed.
What's new? That's
And-
traveling with us.
And I got jumped on for not finishing up a carrot. I left a sliver of a carrot.
Yeah.
So, I sat there and I crossed my arms, looked at the plate, pushed the plate away from myself. The
And
server,
then none of us got any dessert.
yeah, he's like, well, y'all, none of you are going to get any dessert till he finishes that.
Which was fine because I was super full.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say-
wanted dessert
Yeah,
anyway.
it was okay. It was really okay.
So that is really going for an experience, not necessarily the best food in the park. If you're wanting
No.
to have a really fantastic meal, I would splurge for Brown Derby.
It's pricey, but it's worth
Totally
every
worth it.
penny.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, the old menu, the recreating of the menu, the recreating
Yeah.
of the space,
It's beautiful. It's great.
live music.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so fun.
So I can't.
I know we talked about food really early on this, but that's
Yeah, we
the
did.
location of the restaurant. So are
Well-
we going to keep going straight? Or are we going to go back to
Well,
Sunset?
let's go over to Sunset because we
Okay.
haven't talked about Sunset yet.
Mm-mm.
And over there on Sunset is mostly retail and quick service.
And quick service. Some really fun quick service with ice creams, good sandwiches.
The old Anaheim Market recreation is over there.
The farmer's market that's
Yep.
out there.
Yep.
So you get some good, it's good if you need something really quick and fast.
Yeah.
And it's nice because it's a hot park.
Yeah, well,
So
I
you can
think
get
I listed out the
Yeah.
restaurants.
So there's some
for
fun
each
things.
individual
But then
thing.
also on that section of the park is one of my all-time favoriteest rides.
Oh wow, we're gonna skip right over there, aren't we?
Yeah, where we went down the street.
Okay, well,
Well, I guess we need to back up a little bit because we had one of our funnest interactions on that street
yes,
too.
we did.
We kind of
Yes,
alluded
did.
to it
We were
before.
maybe 3 or 4 stores after we made the right
Yeah.
turn. We were 3 or 4 stores down, right near the restrooms.
Yes.
on the right hand
Yeah.
side, the first set of restrooms on the
So
right hand side.
unfortunately, this doesn't happen anymore, but it was one of those really fun our memories together
Yes.
moments. And it was, again, us being us. So
Yep.
they used to have this performance troupe that went through and they would do a street show.
Citizens of Hollywood.
Yeah, there you go. And they would do this like fun little songs and ditties and they'd pull people from the audience and do some, get them involved in fun things. And so
Just goofy, silly things.
silly things. And so were we walking by it or they'd rolled up on it and we just stopped
We had all
behind?
just come out of the restrooms and we were all just sort of standing there
Well,
looking at why are all these people gathered
it was just
here?
it was just you and me too because Chris had
Yeah.
gone back to the room to rest up.
Right.
And so we're just kind of like, okay. And so they're doing their thing and we're listening and it's great.
And it's the Hollywood starlet and she's interviewing people so that she can have a co-star.
So then she pulls this really tall guy out of the audience and she's like, ooh, you're tall. You're kind of circus freak tall.
Carnival tall.
I thought she said circus freak tall.
She said carnival
Okay. Anywho, hit you.
tall. Yeah.
And it was the big guffawing. And the entire cast, the entire audience whips their focus over. And I'm like pushing him through the door. And we're just like melting in laughter of this ridiculous statement of carnival tall.
Like, oh my, you're carnival, tall.
And, blah, blah, and I'm like pushing him in. I was like, go.
Jack, get in.
Because literally it like stopped the show because of our ridiculous laughter over this. And I was like, I wasn't in the mood really to be this center of attention.
She didn't want to participate with them.
Not
at that moment.
at that moment.
No.
So then we like stumble into the store
Yeah.
in our laughter, and everybody looks at us then of like, what are you doing? So
Now remember, this was the time before liquor was served at the parks, so there was
we were
no excuse.
dead well, most of the stuff we do we're dead sober
Oh, no,
anyway.
we're always
So
dead sober on that.
I mean,
always,
so anyway,
always.
it's 100% core memory for he and I of us being just like we were when we were little as grown-ups, and how
Oh,
it
yeah.
never changes. And
Oh, yeah.
it's just
I mean,
like, that's it. Like what we do.
And I'm sorry, but sorry, not sorry.
No, that was, I mean,
Sorry,
it's
not sorry.
it's
That
a
was-
moment. It's one of our moments.
It's
So,
beautiful. It's wonderful. And I would recommend it for everyone.
and that's every time we go to that. I mean, it's a great restroom, by the way. If you need to go, that's where you
it's
go.
sort of themed as a
Backlot,
an
an alley.
garage.
Yeah. Alley
Car
back way.
garage.
So anyway, it's great. And every time we go there, I have a little giggle, and I go into the store and I'm like, oh, there we are.
Yep.
I'm back.
Yeah, here we are.
So anyway, that's fun. That's a little core memory. But they don't do the street performers anymore. So some of the changes is it's moved from MGM to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. So at the end of Sunset Boulevard is Hollywood Tower of Terror
Mm-hmm.
and Rock and Roller
Roller
Coaster
Coaster.
featuring Aerosmith.
And yeah, that's changing.
For
and
now.
Then Lightning McQueen's.
Yeah, Lightning
thingy,
McQueen
which we've
Racing
never done.
Academy.
Yeah, we haven't done that.
Which is limited now to 2 meet and greets of 2 different cars, and Lightning McQueen is not one of them.
I thought he was back to the race thing. Check that. We should check that because
I did.
I've seen Mammoth Club do it.
Okay, well, as of May 1st,
Okay.
it wasn't operating.
The other things that are along that road are Beauty and the Beast show,
Yes.
which is great.
Yes.
And then it's also the theater where Fantasmic is held. So
Yes. There are 2 separate theaters. There's the
Beauty and the Beast,
Beauty and the Beast covered theater.
and then
kind
the
of-
Fantasmic.
and then the Fantasmic amphitheater.
Mm-hmm. So those are a couple of other things on there. Rock and Roller Coaster is one of my all-time favorite coasters in the world.
I will not argue this.
Enough said.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
So
It is
good.
currently closed for refurbishment.
Yeah.
And apparently the headliner is going to be changing. We don't know who it is or who it's going to be.
I frankly don't care.
Well, yeah, I mean, it
I
won't
just wanna
matter.
go on the
Still
roller
going to
coaster.
ride it.
I love it.
Still gonna ride it.
It's a great roller coaster. I mean, you literally go from nothing to 1,000,000 miles an hour and then do a loop. Like, it's so good.
0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
It's so good with a loop.
Several.
I know, but it's like
Yeah.
you barely get in and you're.
And I can't remember the number of inversions, but I do know that there are 2 full circles and at least 3 corkscrews.
Corkscrews, yeah. It's
So.
it's a great one. So if you are a roller coaster junkie and like that kind of speed, it's awesome.
It's
a lot of fun.
worth it.
Yeah, really good. So
It's worth it.
that's what I don't do Tower of Terror, so you're gonna have to talk that one. That's a pass for me.
Okay. The Hollywood Tower, otherwise known as the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It's fantastic. Okay. They have made this building look like a hotel in 1930s Hollywood. The story is that on October 31st, 1939 or something like that, the tower was struck by lightning. When it was struck by lightning, apparently 4 guests, I believe, were
It was
in...
a family.
No, it wasn't a family.
I thought it was a mom, dad, a little girl, and a.
That was one part of the group.
Okay.
There was mom, dad, a little girl, 2 other folks involved in that as well. And they were never found after the lightning strike. A good chunk of the, approximately 1/3 of the entire hotel vanished into thin air. Nobody knows why. But when you ride this ride, you get to go into the Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
And you see them. And the pinnacle of the ride is that you are brought to the top of the tower and then dropped. Yes, it's a drop ride. It is wonderful. I still love the Imagineering in this. I still love the Imagineering in the ride. I love the Imagineering in the queue. Again, queue guy.
Well, and yeah,
Okay.
it is worth that for sure.
Now, there is a way that you can go see the queue without riding the ride.
It's called the chicken out.
Well, yeah, it is.
Chicken out line.
Regardless,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, it's worth it. Go ahead and do that. The reason is because you can go in, get to see the ride, not the ride, but you get to see the queue.
Yeah.
You get to see the lobby of the hotel.
Mhm.
A lot of what you see in there in props are authentic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, they're actual
Movie props.
No, not movie props.
Oh, from the 40s.
yeah,
from the
they're
30s and
actual
40s.
they're actual things that
Mhm.
people used from 1940. The luggage, the tables, some of the pens that are laying on the table. Not pins, pens. Anyway, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's just worth it. The pre-show that you go in to listen to Rod Sterling talk to you. Well, it's not Rod Sterling, but it's a
Very good mimic.
Yeah, it's a very good imitator. In that room, there are several pieces from 1950s when and the early 60s when the TV show aired that are scattered about.
Mm.
And it's fun little Easter eggs
Yeah.
like that. So for me, it's worth it. It is definitely worth the time, worth the effort to go see it. Do the chicken out if you don't want to ride the ride, please. And don't feel stressed and feel pressured that you have to.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as have to at Disney. Okay?
They always give you an out. So
Exactly. So that's Hollywood Tower of Terror, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. I recommend it. It's always a must-do for me. At one time, and naturally you always exit the ride into a gift shop. At one time, they had robes with the Hollywood Tower.
I think they have. Oh,
They
they
don't
have
have them anymore.
Oh, okay.
They don't have them anymore. Trust me, every time I've been there, I've been looking to get them, and they don't have them. But, I mean, it was like you could buy the stuff that you would have had if you stayed in the hotel. The towels, the robe, the slippers. I wanted that so much. But regardless, that's enough of me about the Hollywood Tower.
So that, if you wanted to do the Beauty and the Beast is also the other thing back there. And
Yes.
it's actually a great one to get off your feet for a good 20, 30 minutes.
And sit in shade.
So you're allowed to take a beverage in there or a
Yes.
snack or whatever.
Yes.
So it's a good one. It's a great little reenactment of the movie. A lot of the songs are sung. So it's a really fun sing along if you want to make it a sing along. But it's a great, also, they have many show times during the day. So if you just wanted to get off your feet, like I said, it's a good one for that.
Yep.
All right. So that's Sunset Boulevard. That's kind of the front that side of the park.
Right.
Heading back towards the center on the other side of Brown Derby is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Oh, like we said, yes. At the end of Hollywood.
Yeah.
At the end of Hollywood Boulevard
Is it Echo Lake?
Echo Lake is to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. We need to talk about that for a minute. Okay. And the reason is because now we're going to be a little sad, or at least I am. The ride that was there before Minnie and Mickey was the Great Movie Ride.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the OG ride to that park. It was the headliner in that park. And the idea is you got into this little cart, or not little cart, but you got into this trackless cart and you rode through movie sets. And it was all MGM movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the thing that I loved about it.
Yeah.
It was all MGM. So you rode through a John Wayne movie. You rode through some of the big, huge dance chorus numbers.
Busby Berkeley movie.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Where all the chorus
legs.
girls are, yeah, all legs.
Get all excited.
Yeah. So
Singing in the Rain, which is our
Yes.
mom's favorite movie.
Exactly.
So that's why she loved it.
James Cagney films.
Oh, yeah. The gangster movies that he did.
Film noirs.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of the film noir stuff. And during that part of the ride, you would be boarded by a gangster who would hijack your car and then take you on the rest of the tour. Now, you went through it, and then all of a sudden, you'd get into some of the Paramount films. And why I bring that up is because of Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana Jones is a Paramount film. When you got to the Indiana Jones portion, the gangsters saw the big, beautiful gem up on one of the idols and wanted to go take that idol or take that gem. Got off your cart, goes up, reaches for it, steam and smoke shoot up, and when it all goes away, he's nothing but a skeleton. And the person who was warning him not to grab for the gem was the tour guide that you had in the first place, and she comes and saves you.
Yay!
Yay! And then we were safe. But we weren't, because then we went into Aliens. So it was a lot of fun. There was also the Casablanca scene.
Mm-hmm. Some cool animatronics.
Oh yeah. Tarzan and Jane,
Mm-hmm.
the old Tarzan and Jane serial
Mm-hmm.
actors.
It just was a nod and an ode to old Hollywood and the original
Exactly.
movies and how that was done and the classic movie genres that were out
Exactly.
there. So it was a really good one. I really liked it.
I loved
too.
it. I loved it. I mean,
Yeah.
I even loved the part of Wizard of Oz room.
yeah.
Okay. It was dumb. It was
Whatever.
stupid. It was cheesy. But
Yay.
I would come on.
Yay.
I mean, that was the stuff you and I grew up with.
Oh,
with
totally.
Mom, you know?
Completely. Yeah. Musical
So-
theater was everything.
Exactly. So I love that part of it. I miss that ride very much. So I want to take just a few seconds to remember the great movie ride. Anyway,
And so now we've got Nothing Can Stop Us now.
yeah,
I don't know how.
because we're gonna make it
Because we're
happen.
going to make it happen.
Let's take a ride.
To the countryside? Again.
Good times are here to stay.
No, don't you? Oh, I have to say this. The Disneyland queue for
Okay.
that
Yes.
is phenomenally better than the Orlando queue of that.
Yeah, the Hollywood Studios version is a sad
It's-
attempt. And the sad part is it was the first one.
Yeah. And well, they just enveloped what was there with the old Hollywood,
Right.
the Great Movie Ride. So they didn't
Right.
change it. They changed the ride. So
Right.
if I'm going to pick one, or if I have to ride that ride, I'll ride it in Disneyland and I can skip it in
Well, sure.
Orlando.
Exactly. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm such a glutton for punishment now that I'd go ahead and get on it.
I mean,
well, and with our family, we've got enough littles,
you got to. Exactly. So,
you know, and there's a lot of folks that don't like the new animation for Minnie and Mickey.
I think they look like Ren and Stimpy and I don't like it.
Well, it's
So
very
look
much.
at there on my shirt. Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
I like,
I
I'm
know
a
they're
little,
they're goofy looking.
yeah, they look a little,
They look a little rough.
not my favorite iteration of Mickey
Yeah,
and
they're a
Minnie.
little rough. They're a little
So-
rough, especially when you really look at close at Goofy.
Oh, yeah.
Goofy need to shave.
He needs
He needs something.
rehab.
Well, pretty much. Pretty much. And
So-
Donald ain't much better.
I know.
So
So,
anyway,
digress.
but yeah, we do. So we got out of the movie ride, and we're going. Well, the movie ride.
yeah. It will always be the movie ride.
That's right.
We'll kind of keep going around Echo Lake. Around Echo Lake, we've got the restaurants we talked about. We also have the Frozen Ever After. The Frozen.
Yeah, with Anna and Elsa,
It's
and they do their
it's kind of the storytelling of the Frozen movie.
right.
It's also a great that one's inside and air conditioned. So if you're
Yes.
super hot and want to have a time to sit down, it's really a great one. I liked it a lot. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
I have not. I don't really remember all that much of it.
yeah,
if at
so
all.
it's not bad. It's there's a play between two of the narrators. There's a set,
Oh, it's the sing along.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the sing along.
there's a set of them that are so popular they have a following on Instagram. So they're great. They quip at each other and they have some pop off jokes with each other. It's really great. So there's that section, and then there's the There's another Mickey Shorts section.
That's the vacation short.
With the potato farm.
Well, I don't know if it's a potato farm.
No, it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's called Vacation Fun.
There you go. And then Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Which is, again, another OG attraction.
Ish. So it's
Okay.
not, they've changed it into where you get pulled into a set now.
That's the way it's always been.
It was a reenactment of the movies. I had a friend who was in the cast.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All
Because
right.
they'd pull somebody from the audience and it was actually a plant. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I had a friend who I worked with in my first park. He was actually one of the plants.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool.
Right on.
So I had some insights on that. But anyway, so it's changed a little bit, but now it's this that you learn about stunts and how the art of being a stuntman and stunt woman is put together and all of that.
Right.
So
Again, going back to that, how movies are made.
Mhm.
Yeah. Again, something I think is fantastic. Apparently the public's getting bored with that. They're
it's
they're
a
kind of
pass for
done.
me.
Yeah. See, I love it.
So if
I
I'm
love
there, I'll usually, if I need to sit down and everybody's like, let's go to this, I'll be like, okay.
Well, and we haven't done it the last few times because I was the only one in the party that wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, and here's some more sadness. They've closed the gift shop.
Mm.
The gift shop for Indy is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
It's no more, which is sad again.
All that merch has been pulled to the shop in the front.
Yeah.
So you keep going around. We're kind of moving our way now in this clockwise motion around Hollywood. There's a backlot restaurant. It's a quick service.
Yes.
Then you get to Star Tours.
Yes. Again,
Hard pass.
I know a simulator ride. If you guys do not like simulator rides, don't do this one.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Don't do this one. Again, if you are a hardcore Star Wars fan and you are into it, come with me. You can sit next to me. Okay. Or sit next to me and my daughter. Kat and I will ride this.
I know,
one.
thanks.
We love it.
Across from Star Tours is one of my favorite restaurants on that section of the park. It's the Sci-Fi Theater.
Yes.
You get to
Dine-In
watch
Sci-Fi Theater.
You get to watch sci-fi B movies in a fake car and eat your dinner.
Yes, you do.
It's so good. I
Yes,
love
you
it.
do. And your dinner consists of hamburgers and hot dogs.
ham and cheese, really great ham and
Oh,
cheese,
yeah,
and
the grilled
chili.
cheese. Yes, yes.
Good French fries.
Okay. Now this is where I will talk about the Disney potato that I will go for.
Go for it. Do it.
These fries there are some that are lovely crispy, and then there are some that are lovely greasy, and I love them both, and they taste right, and they're when you get the really good McDonald's French fries.
Mhm.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's what those
Yeah.
are.
It's a
That's
good
what
one.
those are
It's a hard place to get a reservation.
because it's extremely popular.
Very popular. So just know, and they've gone through a couple of menu revamps just to kind of elevate things, but it is a fun one. I really like that one a lot.
I adore it.
I do too.
I adore
love
it. I mean, it's a lot of there is a chunk that they play that's the longest chunk that they play of the animated shorts from a Tomorrowland episode from Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color.
Mm-hmm.
And those drawings were done by Raleigh Crump.
There you go,
So,
Mr. Crump.
yep.
Nice.
Sorry,
It's a great one.
I'm going to geek out on the history.
It's super fun though. I love it, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
have some of the. It's just really neat nostalgia. So if you want to eat there, great. We just kind of, if we can get in there, we get in there. If not, we keep going down the road a little bit, and then we get
Right.
to Muppets.
Oh yeah, we're down Grand Avenue.
Yes,
now.
yeah.
Now over to the right, before we get to Muppets, is a place called Commissary Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a quick service counter.
ABC commissaries in there. Yeah.
It's the ABC Commissary. It's a quick service counter service type
Here
thing.
it's really good food. I've never eaten there, but the food I hear is decent.
I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I've seen some.
I know nothing
I've seen
about
some
it.
vloggers and live streamers eat there, and the food is. They eat there often, and there's a few
Right.
things I want to try. Like they have
Oh,
a
yeah.
really yummy brisket grilled cheese with like onion soup gravy.
Okay. Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Onion soup gravy.
Uh-huh. I'm like, okay,
All right then.
thank you.
I'm there. I'm there.
So anyway, some fun things, and then they have some seasonal like foods for festivals and things like that.
Right.
So it's good stuff. So
Right.
I would, if if I have a chance the next time, I'm going to try and eat there just because a lot of people have eaten there.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's also an area we've never really explored.
No.
And I think there's little hidden things in there that we've just not seen.
Well, we have a mission. We're always hitting.
Right.
I'm always hitting Muppets because I love Muppets 3D.
Right.
That's a have-to ride for me.
Now,
for
there's
attraction.
Before we get farther down towards Muppets 3D, there's another place to eat there, the Tap House.
Yeah, I haven't eaten there either.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. I hear it's a great sit and people watch kind of place.
Exactly. And really, that's the only thing. You can sit on the patio, have your flight of whatever, and your little noshes of whatever.
I would say there's some good apps there.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we're going farther down Grand Avenue, we do finally get to the Muppet Vision 3D.
I love it.
Now, that is a not miss for me, if possible.
Amen on that. I have to do it every time. I love it.
And there have been some complaints from folks saying it's a little ratty now. They have got to change. They need to change the cushions.
A year ago, July, it was like,
oh, I bet. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a little nasty.
Doesn't matter. I went anyway.
There you go. But it's a fun show.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a real fun show.
I mean, Sweetums comes out.
Exactly.
You get some Sweetums.
Yeah, you can't not love that.
Exactly. I love it. So it's a have to for me. It is a 3D experience. You do have to wear the glasses. And if you're a kid of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you love the Muppets. So
that's right.
It's
that's right.
Throwback to your childhood.
Now there's another place to eat down over there. Pizza Rizzo.
No.
It was Pizza Planet.
No, I don't care what iteration of pizza it is. Don't do it.
It's the horrible puffy theme park pizza.
It's not.
Okay, it's crap pizza. It really is.
I will find other things that are better to eat at that park than Pizza Rizzo.
Right. Well, there's an Italian restaurant.
I've never eaten there.
I can't remember the name. Mama something.
I will even skip that because I would like to go get my tachos in Toy Story Land.
Oh yeah, and we're getting there.
I know we haven't gotten there yet, but I will skip a lot of the things to go to Tacho.
Yeah, I hear you.
So,
but yeah, let's see. Mama Melrose.
Thank you. I'm like, if you haven't figured out, we work with notes. We actually do make notes for ourselves, everyone. Believe it or not, we have an outline.
There is a method to our chaos. It is slightly controlled chaos.
So anyway, there is that. I've never eaten at Mama Melrose's either. I think if I'm going to do Italian, I'm going to go to Epcot for it. I save my foods for Brown Derby and tachos.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But the Baseline Tap House does look really cool. Like I said, I've watched some.
I would like to try it once.
Some YouTubers do that, and they rave about it. So it's kind of cool.
Now,
all right. Are you ready?
Oh, no, we're not going in there yet.
Oh, okay.
We still have yet to talk about Animation Courtyard.
Oh. I thought that was on the other side.
It is on the other side, but I don't want to be diving
You want to talk that first?
I don't want to go diving into the back of the park until we're done with
all right.
everything.
So that's if you go, okay, so what we've just done is what I would consider going left of Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yes.
If we go right, then there's some things that used to be there that were really cool, but now this is the section for real littles. So this is where Disney Junior is going to be, the Disney, some of the inside shows for the little guys.
Yes. There are a couple places there that are generated for everybody, or at least at one time was for everybody. One of the main areas that I loved was Walt Disney Presents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was going through the series of animation and live action productions. Mm-hmm. They would normally have displays on the current films coming out.
They still do some of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've seen of the state of the sign, the state of the displays, I don't know what's going on exactly with Hollywood studios and why there is such lack of attention to what needs to be done. It's a sad state of affairs, folks. It's a sad state of affairs for a park that is so darn cool.
There's also some character interactions back there. You can see Mickey and Minnie. Ariel is back there. The live action Ariel's back there.
Yep.
So that's kind of, we haven't gotten down the alley for the Pixar folks yet. So
we're not done. No, Pixar Plaza is coming. It's
so there's some of those, but then kind of in the back used to be this building that was where the animation stuff was housed.
Yeah, which is currently the Star Wars launch bay.
Okay.
And before it was that, it was the boarding house or the boarding area for the Hollywood Backlot Studio tour.
Yeah.
So, the fun thing about that one originally, that's where the animation studios were.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now we get to tell another fun story.
Yes. So this is what, 2003 still?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We're back in 2003. Chris is pregnant.
This is the same day where she left. So these two things that happened with you and I, where she went back.
Oh, no, she was there with us.
Oh, but she didn't look. That's right. This is before she left.
Yeah. She was there with us. So we're there with yourself.
They would tour.
Yeah.
You got a tour.
Yeah. Yourself, Chris, me, and Meg. All four of us.
Uh-huh.
And we're going into the tour of the animation studios. And the neat thing is that you get to walk by a window, and it's basically all the animators there in their aquarium. So
yeah, working.
They're in the fishbowl. They're in the fishbowl, and they're doing their thing. They're working. And I stop and I look on one of the computer monitors, and there's a kayak.
Yeah.
Coming through with a character in the kayak. And I look at that and I'm going, oh, Alyce,
me.
Alyce. I drag her over and I point to the monitor. And
I watched this thing. So we watched this animator rework this scene a couple different ways and was working like live on a scene from Brother Bear that we got to see.
It was
happen.
Kenai's kayak coming down the snowy hill.
Uh-huh.
And we got to see it before it hit
the theaters. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really cool. That was one of those, we have to watch that movie now when it comes out.
And they took it away.
I know. They didn't.
They took all of that away.
It didn't make the cut. So we were
it was, well, no, it made the cut. It made it into the film. They took the attraction away.
Oh, the attraction away. Yes. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the
2004. They moved everybody out of there.
Yeah. So and it also was a kind of a precursor to the Animation Academy, or the animation draw along with the.
Yes.
So you got to watch an animator draw a character as part of the tour, and teach you how, but you didn't draw along with. You could, but you didn't have to.
Right.
So it was the little precursor to that interaction and interactive that they have now. So.
Exactly, because people were clamoring for it. It's like, give me a pencil and a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Let me draw along with this guy.
So it was cool that way. So you got to see and meet an animator, ask questions.
Yep. And now it holds what's left of Star Wars Launch Bay.
Uh-huh.
And Star Wars Launch Bay essentially was a display on everything Star Wars, had a movie about George Lucas. It was about a half an hour long. You walk through all kinds of displays of everything Star Wars and their Star Warsiness and ins and outs and ups and downs. You met Darth Vader. You could meet Chewbacca. You met BB-8. You could meet Jawas. You met Boba Fett. Yeah, I mean, the list went on.
And now you don't have to because there's a whole land.
Except they still have Darth Vader and BB-8 over there. You go.
It is a part. If I'm going to do Disney Hollywood Studios, I do not necessarily have to go down that alley.
There's nothing there now.
There's nothing.
There's nothing there for anybody.
So even the Little Mermaid show that was there hasn't returned back after COVID. So I think they're trying to reimagine that space as well. So
they're taking their sweet time reimagining it because everything has been sitting there empty now for about 4.5 years. So.
But that's to the right of Runaway Railway.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go behind that attraction, then you get into the start of a couple more lands.
Yes.
Which actually took over the
Hollywood Backlot.
The Backlot tour ride.
Yep.
So
you go back in there and there's Pixar Plaza. Yeah. Okay, now Pixar Plaza is a very sweet, short attraction area.
It's an alley, but there's some fun things to do back there.
Yeah.
I got to do it.
Well, you got to do a meet and greet, which is pretty much all that's there.
Yeah, you get to meet Pixar characters, which is fun. I mean, it's cute.
Well, and that's something I've been clamoring for the longest while is more meet and greets with more Pixar characters.
If you get to do it, and you want to do it, you have to do the Edna Mode experience.
I'm dying for it.
You gave that to me as a challenge.
Yes, I did.
I'm glad you did, because it was loads of fun. And she's very interactive and very personal and takes the time with you. I do this every time. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
But she's great. And it's a very personal interaction. And it's kind of it's her own space. And you get to see all of the things she's created in her, like it's her design studio. And
exactly.
It's great. She's so good.
And I will put a chunk of that one right here.
Yeah, it's hello, hi. Nice to meet you. It's so good. It was a lot of fun. So, and it's good for littles. And then you can exit out of there, and then you can meet Sully.
Yep.
You can meet Frozone. You can meet some of the other Pixars.
Yeah, you get Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl. You know, and see the thing. What I want to do is now meet some of the other supers that they introduced in the second Incredibles film. You know, there are several. There's Void. That's the only name I can think of right off the bat. There are several other supers that you can meet now. Yeah. Or you should be able to meet now. They're all fantastic. I'd love to see it. But anyway,
there's also the Joffrey's coffee place there. I can get an iced tea. FYI. It's on the corner there.
You said that Epcot was the only place.
No. I said the place in Epcot to get a ginormous
tea. Okay. Sorry. Qualifying
this one,
size.
I can get an iced tea.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Okay. So there's the other reason for this being a very special park for her is because
I could go to that, and then there's bathrooms right there too. So
that's right. There are.
You got like the strategic places.
Well, okay, and there's a reason. There's a good reason that there are bathrooms there, because the next land that we are about to enter,
it's chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I like the theming.
One of my favorite snacks is in that whole park.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's food, but I'm talking about the theming of the land.
It's fun. I mean, you're a toy.
Yes.
You're toy size.
Yeah, you are now in Andy's backyard.
Welcome to Toy Story Land,
That's
everybody.
Right. And the fun thing about it is, like, every 15, 20 feet is a footprint of a sneaker of a kid.
I mean, yeah.
Of a giant kid. It's Andy's footprints walking through the backyard. And you are all toy sized.
You're toy sized. Yeah, everything's big.
You know, and I love the theming of that.
It's a fun part.
I love the fact that the Tinker toys are part of the structures.
We have, Chuck had when you're 3, they're life size.
No, but they were big. They were giant ones.
Big giant Tinker toys that we could make like our own houses and cars.
Right.
Like, it was great.
We made houses, we made spaceships, we made buses, we made cars, we made
forts.
Yeah, we did
lightsabers.
Yes, we made lightsabers. We used some of them to actually be trumpets.
Yes, everything. They were the best toys. Talk about a fun rainy day thing.
Oh yeah.
We
went nuts. We went nuts.
So we have a very special place in our heart for the Tinker toys.
Yes. So anyway, we're in Toy Story Land. In Toy Story Land, there's, I think, 3 attraction rides.
Mm-hmm.
There's Alien Swirling Saucers,
which is
it's a silly ride.
It's a silly ride, and if you have littles, ride it. But it is Mater's.
Yeah, it's Mater's.
But it's
hoedown.
The aliens.
Yeah, it's Tractor Hoedown.
Yeah.
But it's so silly and so
good.
Fun. Okay.
I will ride. That's a kind of have to for me. I love that one. It's really fun.
There's also the Toy Story Mania, the Midway Mania thing.
Yeah.
Which is a regurgitation of what is at Pixar Pier in California Adventure. Same ride.
I can not ride that.
Yeah, again, it's 3D glasses moving and shooting things. You know, it's a if you're competitive, you all go with your bad selves. Yeah. And then there is the tamest roller coaster on the planet, or at least close to.
Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah, Slinky Dog Dash. Okay, I have not ridden it, and I've been told that I have to.
It's a good. I mean, it's definitely, it's good as an introductory course, a roller coaster for littles.
Sure.
It's just cute. I don't know. It's fun. It's good nostalgia. It makes you laugh. It makes you giggle. You get off and smile, and why not, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
So, but
exactly.
There is a downside to it. The queue for standby can get very, very long, very, very quickly. So if you can either Lightning Lane that one or a Genie Plus that one.
Yeah, because it is insanely
popular. It's very long. So this is the park, speaking of Genie Plus, this is a park that I would be I wouldn't buy Genie Plus on purpose. I would do the buy up rides.
Yeah, you're right.
For that. I wouldn't pay for Genie Plus for this park. I would just do the buy up stuff or just chance the standby.
Exactly. Exactly. And I agree. I agree with that. I have not done Genie Plus voluntarily. It has been bought for me.
Yeah, and it only really makes the most sense at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it in Florida, but at Hollywood it's not worth it.
No. So anyway, that's your Woody's Lunchbox is a quick service. That's where you found
Andy's Lunchbox is where you find tachos.
Yeah, that's where you found your tachos.
Tater tots instead of chips. Cheese, chili, scallions, a little bit of pico de gallo, a little bit of shredded cheese.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Amazing.
You can't go wrong. I endorse this.
And
I fully endorse this.
It's hard to recreate because it's the fake nacho cheese.
Right.
The school the school nacho cheese.
Yes.
That, if you want to elevate it.
It's otherwise known as Tool Dip.
Why do you want to elevate that? It's amazing the way it is. Anyway, I love tachos.
It's greasy, salty, and
they have a breakfast version of said tachos. So instead of the chili, you get sausage gravy.
You didn't need to tell me that. You did not need to tell me that. Dang it.
Yes, I did.
Dang it.
And they have eggs on it, so it's like this yummy little egg bowl with tater tots. It's so good. Yeah. So yeah, I will quick service that. I will do the tachos. It's my favorite snack there. Have to get it every time. That's a have to for me. And it's great. You can get your tachos and stand in line for Slinky Dog.
There you go.
And eat it. It's like what I do for Indiana Jones in Disneyland. Get your snacks and stand in line. So it's really cute back there. One of the cool things back there too, and it happens every 15 to 20 minutes, is the army men, the green army men will march through so it's the drum line.
Yep.
And they're awesome sauce. So I've not eaten at Woody's Roundup.
The barbecue place. Yeah.
It is brand newish enough that I'm not a big fan of barbecue to begin with. So the menu of sides is something that I would go after, but other than that, I'm like, nah.
I have no idea what they are.
They had some yummy like macaroni salad and potato salad. They have a
potato salad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A neat cucumber, tomato, onion kind of thing. I mean, you wouldn't like that, but
no.
So anyway, I would pass on that. A lot of people say it's worth it because you are actually a toy. And then everybody in the restaurant has to freeze when Andy comes in the room. So even if you're mid-bite, you have to like freeze. And some of the servers will fall to the floor because they're the dolls. So they're
floppy. Yeah.
So anyway, it's kind of fun that way to be. And if you get the whole restaurant to do it together, it's like this whole communal activity to do something together and you've accomplished it. Bunch of strangers. Yay.
We're right back to the role-playing thing.
Exactly.
We're right back to role-playing. I'd love it.
So
I'd go eat there now just because of that.
Toy Story Land is great. It's really fun to be toy size and be back there. And if you love the movies, if you love all of that IP, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
But it butts up against...
It does. All of a sudden, when you start leaving Toy Story Land,
things change.
The foliage changes. The light posts start to change. And the ambient noise starts to change. And you start to hear creatures in the bushes that are not of this world. Because you're going into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Otherwise known as Star Wars Land.
Star Wars Land, yes. With Princess Cinnabon and Bubble Fat. And yeah, I can do it too.
Well, you have more right to than I do.
Well, please.
Because you like it.
Well, I do. But Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and I'm gonna do it because I wrote it down, so I'm just gonna say it is in the town on the planet Batuu, and the town is Black Spire Outpost. Okay, this is another hive of scum and villainy, It's another backwater planet where mostly smugglers and scoundrels will frequent.
It's Australia.
Not really. No.
It's
No.
a penal colony.
Yeah. That's Tatooine. Okay. Anyway,
It's the American colonies then.
yeah, pretty much. Now, this area is split into 3 districts. You have the First Order District, which is basically close to the most western end of town. And then you have the marketplace, or the Blackspire Marketplace, which is the center of town. And then on the outer edge of the eastern side of town is the ruins, where that's the resistance base. So those 3 areas, you never see any stormtroopers going over to the resistance base, and you never see anybody from the resistance base going over to the First Order District. This area is primarily shopping and food. There are only 2 ride attractions. There are character meet and greets. You can meet Kylo Ren and some stormtroopers, and I believe one of the First Order lieutenants, either Lieutenant Croy, who was on the Galactic Star Cruiser, which doesn't exist anymore. May it rest in peace. Anyway, you also can meet Vi Moradi, who is a resistance spy. She's a lovely woman with blue hair, I believe. And yeah, you can recognize her in her orange vest with the resistance symbol on it, and she's running around hiding from stormtroopers and all that. You can meet Rey, who is the scavenger girl from the last 3 films. And of course, you can meet Chewbacca.
That was kind of cool. I got to meet Chewbacca.
Yep. Now he's fun.
A little waiver.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Chewie?
Yeah, now he's fun.
I crashed on Millennium Falcon. Sorry. You yelled at me a lot. Sorry about that.
He yelled at all of us.
That was the first. Well, you were. I mean, that's why I said you weren't there, and I was like terrible at it.
Well, that was the point of it. You're not supposed to be good.
Oh,
If you're
I
good,
wanted to throw up the whole time.
if you're good, it's no fun.
I wanted to
Okay,
barf.
I know, because it rocks and rolls you.
It was so bad.
It rocks and rolls you. She's talking about the Millennium Falcon
The
Smuggler's Run.
Run.
Yeah,
So it's
that's one of 2 attractions there.
yeah.
That one's a lot of fun. It basically, I love it, and the reason is because I have waited over 40 years to be able to fly the Millennium Falcon, and I did it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I was so not. I mean, I wanted to ride it with you because of just pure nostalgia, but I just couldn't do it.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
It's like I want to be able to eat dinner.
I wasn't going to force that on you.
No,
either.
I know that, but
Okay.
we walked the entire land together.
Yes, we did.
And that was kind of important to me when we first went to there together in Florida.
Yes.
That was important to me because of just how much that movie and the franchise was a part of our childhood.
Exactly.
And it was 9-year-old Chuck and 5-year-old Alyce.
That's right.
And that's who we were. I'm going to get all like emotional. That's who we were
Well,
back there. Because it was, that was our,
And
that's how we played.
Exactly.
And, we did
And I
all
was
that.
wearing my Imperial cap.
You were in your costume.
I was wearing the Han Solo jacket.
And we walked by the Millennium Falcon and we got it was just like, that was,
oh my,
we were little kids again. We were just.
When you got to see that Millennium Falcon come up over the stairs.
Yeah. I mean,
and I had to stop.
Yeah. I was just like,
I had to stop.
I'm like, we pretended this our whole childhood in our backyard playing. It was just like.
The theming of this land is on par.
It is good.
If not better than the Harry Potter experience at Universal.
I would say that, and it is gorgeous at night.
Oh, yeah. The lighting.
It is stunning at night. It rivals Cars Land for me.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, Cars Land is great, but I'm saying for a Florida park at night.
Okay.
Galaxy's Edge in Florida is stunning.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. The way they light the spires. It's fantastic. Now, okay. The spires, the black spires, are supposed to be petrified trees. That's their whole. That's the whole thing. Is that this planet at one time was just covered in giant forest.
Well, now it's blazes hot and you about to die because there's
3 suns.
Yeah, great. I don't have the equipment that they do in the movies to keep me cool, and I'm a regular old person walking back there, and it's hot, and there's no tea back there. I have to walk all the way back up to the Joffreys over in Toy Story Land.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Just saying.
I get it.
I will not drink blue or green milk. No, thank you.
I got nothing. All right, so we're moving on now. We're going over into the ruins area, to the resistance base,
All right.
where the Rise of the Resistance is.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to say it. I will say it right here, right now. Rise of the Resistance, to date, is the best Disney ride ever created. To date.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
It does not have the same technological advancements as Rise of the Resistance. Trackless technology, 3 separate ride formats in one experience.
I think Guardians is better.
Well, it's just a roller coaster that swivels and you can go backwards.
And you hear music.
Just like you do on
Fears.
Space Mountain in Disneyland.
Cheers for Fears.
Okay.
And we got Cheers for Fears, which is from Real Genius, which is my favorite movie in the whole wide world.
Okay. Anyway,
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Rise of the Resistance, the theme of it, and I know I'm going to spoil it because, well, I'm sorry, but it's been out for several years now, so...
And there's enough POVs videos out there.
Right. There's enough time. If you haven't seen it yet, that's on you.
I will say this. I will ride it with the group. I will...
With the group, yeah.
Yeah, I will. If it's,
it's
like
much
we're
more...
all doing it together, then yeah, I'll do it.
It's much more fun with a group. It's much more fun with a group.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a have to for me, but I definitely will include it in the rides, and that's probably the one and only thing I'll do back in Star Wars land. That,
as you can tell, it is a ride I'm not gonna miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's essentially what it is that you have been recruited by the Resistance to get a message to General Organa on the planet of Bakara. And it is warning them that the First Order is in orbit over Batuu and about ready to find them and wipe them out. So your job is to get to Bakara, get Leia Organa off the planet and out of the system. Well, your transport, as it is leaving Batuu, is captured by a First Order Star Destroyer. You are brought aboard the First Order Star Destroyer. And this is the part that made me cry.
That is
okay.
In the live version of that, it looks great on camera, but the live version of that is stunning.
Because they load you onto this transport, and you feel the transport move and everything as you're flying up off of Batuu. And you feel it turn, and you feel it flying around, and you feel it start to jerk a little bit and get caught by the tractor beam, and then pulled aboard the Star Destroyer. And you're brought into the hangar of the Star Destroyer. When the doors open, the First Order officer comes on,
yells at you,
tells you that you are now prisoners of the First Order. Get off.
Resistance scum.
Yeah, and there we are. And you all come off into the hangar, and in front of you is about 100 stormtroopers.
It's impressive.
You're gonna be sitting on your right hand side once you get inside that hallway. Same thing with you.
Yes, sir. I stay on my right hand side.
On the right side of the hallway.
And you are in the hangar of a Star Destroyer. When I first walked off the transport and stepped into the hangar bay, I started crying. And this was with Chris.
Yeah,
this is the first time with Chris.
Yeah.
And she was just looking at me. She just grabbed my hand, gave me a little squeeze. And I just looked at her and said, I've been waiting 40 years for this.
I mean, when I went, and because I did it the first time without you, and I walked in, I'm like, this is what Chuck would love. You popped in my brain the first time. It was like, this is what Chuck would love. Chuck would love this. Chuck will love this.
Yep. And so you follow the hallway down to your, into the brig, and where they're going to put you in for interrogation. And you get First Order officers there who will interact with you in character.
which is another one of your favorite things to do.
I love it. I love it. I turned around and looked at them. It's like, is this how you treat a veteran of the old Imperial Wars? And their response was, if you were a veteran of the old Imperial Wars, you wouldn't have been among these people. And it's like, ah! Yes, I did a Wookiee yell right then. Anyway, so, and I've already described it before in one of our past videos. You guys can watch that and realize that we did this and that, and Kylo Ren, we moved around through here. All of a sudden, now we're now we're into the escape pods. And 3, 2, 1, and we're back on Batuu, and then we were safe. And then we heard Poe say, "This is this, and that is that."
We didn't know you were going to make it back.
Yeah. Anyway. So it's a lot of fun. I find it, like I said, to be the best ride to date that Disney has ever put together. It is technologically the best in every way.
I would say definitely one of the best stories, full body, where you're fully in the story. You're fully part of it. You're really a character. You're not just riding a ride. You are a character in the story. So it is good that way. It
takes that point of view feel from Pirates of the Caribbean and eliminates that fourth wall.
Yeah, you're part of it now. So
you are now in the story. Yeah. So you're not watching.
It is a good ride. I just will ride. I mean, Galaxy has my heart. So
Guardians is right there for you, and I'm not going to take anything away from you on that. I won't.
You just have to ride it, and then you can.
Oh yeah, I know, and I will make
judgment.
I will make my own judgment, and most likely it will be they played.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So besides besides those two rides, there are some really good food things back there. Oga's Cantina is very popular. We've done both coasts. I can confidently say that it is not a have-to for me.
And I've done both coasts, and I don't necessarily have to go back unless it's with somebody who hasn't been there
there before, or
And if it's going to be over like May the 4th, like if I was able to be there tomorrow.
At the date of this recording, May the 4th is tomorrow.
That's right. I would be there in costume.
Completely. I mean, that's an event.
That's on the bucket list, and that's on the list of videos that I want to do for this channel is to be at Star Wars Nights in Disneyland in costume.
Okay.
I want to do it.
All right. You have plenty of costumes.
Charge.
The one thing you don't have, which is something you can do on either coast, but that you can build a lightsaber.
Yeah, I'm not into that, but yeah.
They are definitely collectors. Our nephew has 3.
Just 3?
Just 3.
Just 3.
I think it's 3. It could be 4. I don't know.
Okay. And that's all that he's built, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't bought any of the replica ones yet.
Mm-mm. So you can build your own lightsaber. You can get the little gems or whatever that go in them.
Kyber crystals.
Okay. Yes. There's some good shopping back there. There's some neat merch. I think, if you're definitely a fan, you can get the cool stuff. But as far as the land, you're really going to be part of the story and be part of the franchise.
Yes. Yes.
And if you are a huge Star Wars fan, you can spend a lot of time back there just being present and people watching and looking for the characters. Grogu comes out with the Mandalorian.
Yes, he does. He does.
So it's not advertised, so you just kind of have to sit and wait for it to happen.
I think has Boba Fett finally arrived on that coast yet?
I don't think he's arrived on that coast yet. But
yeah, because Fennec Shand and Boba Fett are both in the Disneyland Galaxy's Edge. I know that Mandalorian and Grogu, Din Djarin and Grogu are now over.
They're both
in Batuu East. And that's how the fans will separate them: is Batuu East and Batuu West. Okay, Batuu East is Orlando, Batuu West is Anaheim. Yeah. So, Ahsoka is over in Disneyland, and so is Hera Syndulla with the droid Chopper. So the green chick with the head tails. Right. Okay. Anyway, those characters you can meet there. I don't think they're over in Orlando yet, but probably coming.
I think Ahsoka is.
You think Ahsoka's over there?
Yeah, because the gal who does her voice did a live appearance there.
Okay, Rosario Dawson. Yeah.
No, the animated one.
Oh, the little blonde girl from the animated series. Yeah.
That she does a fashion line.
Yes.
Along those.
Yes,
she does. She did a meet and greet.
That would have been fun.
One
That
of the
would've
live
been-
streamers I watched live streamed it.
Right on. Yeah, that would have been
had
a lot of fun.
Yeah, they had a great interaction with her. So
So yeah, that's pretty much
yeah,
it.
you can build a droid back there too. So you can build a lightsaber, you can build a droid. So you make your own robot.
Yeah, Doc Ondar's is one of the shops there,
Uh-huh.
and that is a shop just chock full of Star Wars props
Yeah.
and fan memorabilia.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's
I mean, that's
fun.
If you've seen the movies, the OG movies at all,
Yes.
it's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, no, they're not over there. Darn it.
Oh.
I was going to say I have my
You have your thing.
my loft cat.
They have a whole animal shop. So
I love my loft cat.
they have things like that.
They have the costume bits. They have I have the Imperial rank insignia.
Mhm.
I've got the hat now. I got the belt.
Like I said, you got things to costume.
You know, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And there's stuff there for the Resistance and for the Rebels too.
Now, is Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge are what replaced the
Back
lot.
Yeah, Hollywood
Okay.
Studios back lot.
Yeah. So that's kind of a change that went and how they've reimagined some things.
Exactly.
So,
There is a portion in Galaxy's Edge where it looks like a ship has crashed, and there's bits and pieces of metal all over and scorched and everything.
I don't know if you can hear it. It started to talk again.
Yeah. Yeah. Shh. Nice kitty. Shh.
Merida will get mad at you.
Merida loves it when
I'm
she
sure.
makes that noise. That's why we call that one Nice Kitty, is because Merida thinks that's Nice Kitty.
Okay.
So yeah.
There you go. See.
Now I'm doing it. So anyway, the bits and pieces of charred metal and everything were left over from the old portion of the Hollywood backlot tour that was called Disaster Canyon.
Mm.
And that's where all of that stuff blew up and
okay.
burned and everything. And they left it there because it's like, okay, well, it sort of
It
fits
fits.
the land. There we are.
Backlot tour was cool, but there's some changes. Okay.
Yeah,
are
change is fine.
Yeah.
If you continue to make change, that's great too. But at least do something and don't leave buildings standing abandoned.
There, well,
Okay, that's my issue. Is like that whole area where the animation studios were. I think it's unconscionable that they left it empty.
we don't know. We don't work there. We don't know the plans.
Yeah,
So
well,
we can't make a judgment.
well, it's the fact of there's a potential there that is just not being
Yeah.
met.
Well,
So that's
and a lot
the
of
thing that
people see
bothers
it
me.
too. So
Oh yeah, I know they do.
So Hollywood Studios has some great meet and greet opportunities as well. Like in Toy Story Land, you can meet Woody and Jesse. You can meet Buzz. Good character interactions there. You got, there around Echo Lake, you can see Goofy. He'll bring a fishing pole out and pretend to fish around
I
Gertie.
love that.
It's so cute. It's really
Oh,
fun.
Gertie,
We didn't talk about Gertie.
We didn't talk about Gertie.
I'm surprised. Yeah, Gertie is the nod to the La Brea tar pits.
Yes,
Right?
it is. Yes, it is.
She's like a dinosaur that sits in the middle of the lagoon, and
Well, okay. Gertie is actually a nod and an Easter egg to one of the first theatrical animations and a crossover between live action and animation.
right with the little caveman kid. Oh
no,
no.
with the trainer,
Oh right.
everybody meeting Gertie,
Got it.
the
Okay.
dinosaur. She would come out and dance and
Right.
yeah.
I forgot about that. So there's some fun things that that are. It's a good park to walk around. There's some fun shows like Phantasmic happens at night.
Mm-hmm.
In the busy season, there's 2 showings of that. There's like an 8:30 and a 10:30 or something like that. You'll have to look at the thing.
Right.
Phantasmic currently is only being shown in Florida. It's not back in Anaheim yet.
Not yet.
But it's Phantasmic is the show where you get into Mickey's imagination and anyway, everybody knows the hand motions.
Oh, great. They just want the copyright thing.
No, we're singing it, remember?
It doesn't matter.
But it's, you get into his, and then it has the different characters from the movies and the battle between good and evil, and he fights the Maleficent, the dragon, and
Yep.
the bald mountain demon devil man.
Chernabog.
Okay.
Devil man.
He's scary when you're 4.
Well, yeah.
Very scary. Didn't like him at all. There's a pin of him, and I'm like, why are you doing that? That's not good.
Oh boy. It. Oh my.
You see if you're gonna think that now.
Yeah.
Devil man.
The devil man.
He's bad. But
He's bad.
good wins out, and evil gets melted.
Yep. Yeah.
Literally in Anaheim.
Yeah, in Anaheim that was pretty literal.
But anyway, and then you have the best ending to any nighttime show, I think, is Fantasmic, when they have Steamboat Willie coming out on the riverboat, and he's driving the boat, and all the characters do their thing, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah,
it's
no, I agree.
My favorite,
I agree.
And I get all emotional, and it's so
I get
good.
emotional at both coasts.
Yeah.
Over the end of that show.
It's so good. My eyes all itchy ball.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. So Fantasmic's fun. It's not necessarily a fireworks show, but it is definitely, it's a water show because they project on water,
lasers, fire, and some fireworks.
and a devil man.
And Devil Man. Yeah. Oh, great.
A couple other things, some highlights if you are looking for maybe snacking back in Galaxy's Edge. We didn't talk about that.
Oh, yeah. The couple of really good places.
Docking Bay 7.
Counter service, wonderful.
I can't even.
Yeah,
both,
it's good.
both East and West.
The menus there
So good.
are insanely good. And
Fresh.
it's not what your typical
No,
theme park fare
it's
would
really
be.
good.
It's
So-
good stuff. And it's healthy stuff.
Yeah, it's really good. It's good for a diabetic.
Oh, yes,
It's really
is.
good. So that's
Yes,
kind
it
of
is.
that space.
Yes.
And then if you're this is going to be like on our all we can eat is hot dogs challenge.
Oh, yeah, it will. Yeah, it will.
But Ronto Roasters is in there.
That was my first experience in Galaxy's Edge, was having the breakfast wrap.
Yeah, that's one of Matthew's favorite things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the egg, the sausage, everything that's in it is,
Yeah.
and pita bread.
So, so those are kind of that side of things. We didn't mention that, but I wanted to make sure that we did not forget about the food.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. Speaking of food, there are dining packages available for those folks who want to do the Fantasmic dining packages. I don't know all the particulars.
I've never done it. I would say that I don't know what kind of priority seating you would get for that, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, there's the thing too. There are truly, really no bad seats
Oh, right. Yeah.
in Fantasmic. But there are some questionable ones, and those are the ones that are behind the columns for the support for the awning.
So it's a little bit of an obstructed view, but
But it's not by much.
nah,
Not by much.
it's all right.
And now that's the end of the park.
We've hit our 20,000 steps.
Oh, yes, we have.
Another, again, we very rarely shop our way out of a park.
That's right.
Same thing applies here. So I would take it as if it's hot, if you're hot in the middle of the day, go shop in the middle of the day.
That's right.
Just to kind of beat some of the crowds and things like that. Or if you're being mocked by performers, shove your brother into one of the shops and then you'll be fine. All is well.
No, but wait, they were going to talk to me.
So
They were going to.
as you leave, might not necessarily shop your way out, but you can you can head out, and I think it's a full day park. I can spend a whole day there.
We've spent about an hour and a half already.
Yeah.
And this is before editing.
Yeah, so I like it. We have a great time there, and it's a good time, a good day.
Like I said, it's my second favorite park. Now, a little trivia. At one time, Hollywood Studios was the smallest park of the four in Walt Disney World. It is now larger than the Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
Magic Kingdom is now the smallest park in Walt Disney World.
interesting.
And apparently the Ordre Connu goes Animal Kingdom is the largest.
Uh-huh.
Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
That was a little bit of research I was doing while you guys went to go get dinner. That's how early and how quickly we do research for this. It's usually within minutes.
And we have an outline.
Yeah. It's usually within minutes of hitting the record button. So, but yeah, I think that's about it for, Hollywood Studios. Well,
we get to go to my favorite park next time.
I know your favorite park is coming up. And yeah, I mean,
I'm so excited.
Oh yeah. We're going to be doing Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And we'll be doing that in 2 weeks. And we'd like to say a quiet good night.
Yes.
As the sun sets over Sunset Boulevard and behind the Tower of Terror.
In our calm mentholonic tone.
That's right. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Hopefully you got some good takes out of this, some insights of what we like to do there and how we pursue this park and how we can make it a lot of fun. So,
well, and yeah, the music I picked. I'm sorry.
No, it's my favorite. It's okay. I love it.
I know this was for you. This was for you.
Thanks.
Okay. So, again, come back, join us in 2 weeks. If you like what you've been hearing, if you like the silliness that has been going on between the two of us, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you never miss when a new one comes up. We try and do these every 2 weeks.
Right.
With my daughter, we do them every month. The conversations between her and I. I will be trying to generate some good content this summer. Hopefully this summer, I'll have at least a couple good places to go.
You're getting a little more mobile, so that's exciting.
Well, there's that, but in relation to what might be coming.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We just want to make sure that, you're getting something out of it, but just getting excited to travel because that's what we're all about and getting out and seeing the world.
Exactly. As you have been saying.
Yeah.
Don't stop traveling. And there is adventure, and don't let go of the adventure. Keep a hold of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, folks.
Thanks, everybody.